So the first question is more from the perspective of a brand partner to your business, right? So which vendor do you actually rate? So what is going to be a rating for Microsoft?
See, Microsoft is I'll say rather in above average because they have a very distinct tire architecture. You have shared the question in another section in a greater where I can elaborate the answers, but
Right.
I'll share is in this case it's above average.
Okay, above average. And what about your sentiments for Zoho?
Zoho is excellent.
Zoho is excellent. Brilliant. Thank you. I'm going to move to the next question, and this question is more from the perspective of your customer's preference, which means not just you as a channel, but your customers. How would you rate them in terms of customer preference, Microsoft and Zoho?
Microsoft is 6.
Which is excellent.
Excellent.
What about Zoho?
It's also good. Excellent.
Great. Thank you. Now we are looking at your vendor's ability to fulfill customers' needs, right? In terms of technology, in terms of the complete stack that they have, also in terms of how easy are they to adopt to. So, what would be your rating for Microsoft and Zoho for fulfilling customers' needs?
Microsoft is again excellent, and Zoho is, if there was an option for outstanding, I would say outstanding for Zoho because they actually take the feedback from market and they design their applications accordingly. They have a kind of open forum where we can post our comments, our feedbacks and everything. And they really adhere to the end customers, partners, all the people who use Zoho. So they in this section is excellent.
Okay, great. We're going to go back and capture those feedback, that you gave us a little later, so that we have a more comprehensive insight as to why you think Zoho is outstanding. Great. The next question, Mr. Chandan, is more from if you had to choose a new vendor to work with, right? There are a few parameters we are asking you to state your level of importance, right? So the first parameter is how do you rate, or how important is ability to fulfill customer needs in your opinion?
So it's really important. It's very important.
So should I say very important?
Sure.
Okay. What about delivering the latest technology? How important is that?
Again, very important.
How about the ability to fulfill specific requests of your customers?
It should be somewhat important because if the requirement is specific to a particular client, so that is not a generic, and if that can be incorporated in the application, so that might not be welcome for other clients as well. So it's a little bit important for me, for other customers as well, but I will not say that it is very important. It's important again.
Important. Okay, great. What about the vendors having consulting and advisory services?
It's very important to understand the market, understand the client requirement, understand the strategies. So it's very much important to go for this kind of consulting.
Super, super. And the last question is, would you actually choose to work with a new vendor just because you're dissatisfied with the current vendor?
Not in every case. In some cases, somewhat important, but not for every.
Got that. Got that. So we're now getting into considerations of the vendors itself. And I'm looking at at collaborative solutions at the moment, collaborative solutions and CPaaS as a technology itself or a platform itself. Again, we are toggling between Microsoft and Zoho alone. Which of these two brands are preferred by your customers when it comes to collaborative solutions? If you could tell me which one is preferred and which one is considered.
But Zoho is coming up with their own CPaaS application and third-party integration as well. And the other important thing is that Zoho is offering other applications integrated with their core mailing and communication features like they have Click, they have CRM, they have other applications to incorporate. So if you talk about only video and voice messaging and kind of meeting, so obviously Microsoft comes into fast. Teams is their flagship product, but Zoho is also doing good. So Zoho can be considered, and Microsoft is obviously preferred in this case.
Super, super, super. Now, this next question is more in terms of which of these two brands has actually taken the lead in CPaaS adoption. When we say CPaaS, I'm referring to communication platform as a service. Which of them has taken the lead?
I'll say there are two. I need to mention two brands like Ring Central and Twilio. So Ring Central may not have been the first service to offer CPaaS, but the Ring Central developer platform has become one of the leading services when it comes to cloud communication. Unlike some established providers who build their system for on-premise hardware, Ring Central has built their services from the ground up in the cloud. This has made them an industry leader, and they recently signed a deal to power Aware's users. And Twilio Flex is a leading platform. Again, it's but they have a major benefit is that they have the development platform. Rather than simply look into the uniform communications, they provide the means to completely customize how your communications work. So Ring Central obviously comes into the leading position, but Twilio is also great.
Okay. Between Microsoft and Zoho, which do you think is taking a lead in CPaaS adoption?
As of now, Microsoft.
Okay. And you would say because of the flagship product, which is Teams, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. What support do you think is being given to you as a partner to develop your capabilities to sell CPaaS? And I'm specific to both Microsoft and Zoho. Are they giving you any kind of support?
Microsoft is not giving any kind of support. They are not giving any support for these salespersons or technical teams to give any kind of training, pre-sales training or sales speech for these this CPaaS platform. But Zoho, they gave they have a promotion materials, they have marketing materials as well, and they also conduct kind of live sessions, webinars, and other sessions for these capabilities.
Okay. Super. Now, this is a question that I'm really interested to get your insight on. What is the usual adoption time for CPaaS from the current SaaS offerings for customers? So let's say you have a bunch of customers sitting out there, they may be on SaaS. What is the usual adoption time to move to CPaaS?
See, there are several key metrics by which you can measure the effectiveness of your product adoption framework. You will want to assess how core features are performing, what's most appealing to new users, and the time and value of their adoption that users take with your products. Some features of your product provide greater values than other. The time to value measure, the time it takes to users to obtain these desired result from a given feature. Naturally, you want this time to be short as possible, because adapters who derive value from your product more quickly are more likely to become regular users, and the adoption rate is, I'll say that it's almost 70%.
Right. So let's say this, right? We are in a different world today thanks to what happened last year, right? So things have changed completely for us. What do you think in this current condition? What do you think will be the adoption time? Let's say if I were to ask you a block saying, would that be about 12 to 15 weeks and focusing more on CPaaS?
Yeah, something like that, or even in more less than that.
So what would be the range? Should I say 8 to 12 weeks, 2 to 3 months?
2 to 3 months will be more effective to adopt this technology.
And just so that you know, I'm asking this question primarily keeping just Zoho and Microsoft in mind, not the others. Yeah? So again, between these two brands itself, Mr. Chandan, which of them has made it easy to seamlessly adopt CPaaS? Would that be Microsoft or Zoho? And if they are the ones, how easy is it based on the scale?
Microsoft is very easy, and Zoho is also very easy.
Great, great. That's nice to know. We'll get into the business end of things now. And here is where I want to know how is it playing out for you as a business. Amongst Microsoft and Zoho, which brand do you think has a better distribution channel structure? And if when you pick one, why do you say so?
So I'll as I told you earlier that Microsoft has a very distinct architecture. So in this case, my answer will be Microsoft, because primarily through large account resellers, that is called LARs, or distributors, value-added resellers, or VARs, OEMs, system builders channel, and retailers, they have this kind of an tie-up. Although each type of reselling partners reaches organizations, all are primarily engaged with large organizations. Distributors resell primarily to VARs, and VARs typically reach small size and medium size organizations. Whereas Zoho is, it's kind of direct to customer kind of an option. Although they have a reseller portal, we resell their softwares, we resell their applications, but they don't have this kind of very distinct architecture. So in this case, Microsoft is the winner.
Thank you. All right. Which vendor, again, between Microsoft and Zoho, has the best resource allocation on a yearly basis? When I say resource allocation, I mean if there is a account manager in terms of marketing and everything else, which one of these two actually has a better allocation?
Microsoft obviously have a better resource allocation. They have presence in almost every mid to small cities as well. They have resellers, they have distributors, prominent distributors. They have uh, retailers as well. But again, no, as I told earlier, that Zoho does not have as of now this kind of distributor or this.
Distinct architecture.
This kind of market they don't have. So Microsoft, they have a well-rounded tool to that bridges the core planning, execution, project accounting, analysis system, and single operation movement.
Okay. So between Microsoft and Zoho, who does the lead generation for you? Is it that you have to go chase the leads, or the vendor passes it on to you?
Uh, nobody does the same. So generally we generate the leads and we pass it to the OEM.
Okay. So it is you who take the lead here.
Right.
Right. Brilliant. Now, I'm sure I have the answer beforehand, but I still want to ask you this. Which brand offers the best education to the channel? Now, in terms of certifications, in terms of new technology and, the information around that and expertise around new products and new technologies. Which brand has the best education to the channel?
I'll say that Microsoft, because they are quite they're since the technology adoption, they are into the market. They are very distinct, both offline and online education system. They have they have certified trainers, instructors, instructor-led trainings. So there, so many books are available in the internet. So Microsoft is, they're really doing good in this section, technologies and other things for. But these kind of these drives are from this generally happens from the partner or end user directly. Microsoft does not they do not offer any kind of technologies from their own. We need to chase for it, or we can do it by our own. But the platform is huge, and have a very good architecture for training.
Super. Now let's focus on the marketing campaigns between Microsoft and Zoho. Who gives you a better support for marketing campaigns, and can you tell me why, or give me an example as such?
For marketing, Zoho gives a better portfolio. They have predefined ADMs and some brochures, booklets. Everything is there. Now once we sign up for the partner portal, so there is a dedicated on a drive shared with us, like Google Drive. They have a called Zoho Drive, and see on the Zoho Drive they share a predefined and preloaded materials like pricing sheets, materials, product technology, videos, sales pitch documentations. So Zoho is leader in this area.
Okay, super. Now the next question is more from the adoption of channel partners, and moving away from there has been a nice evolution moving from box to SaaS to now to cloud. Right? Between these two, which brand has the best system to support the channel to move, or rather scale, to cloud offerings?
See, since inception, Zoho is on cloud. They don't have any kind of box or other model. So since adoption, they are into SaaS platform. So if you sign up with initially Zoho offers everyone to go for a mailing solution. So once you are signed up with your company domain mail, business domain with Zoho, so you are one step ahead into the cloud adoption, and all other technologies are just plug and play kind of thing. If you want to subscribe those services, you just need to pay for it's a pay as you go kind of thing. So for these Zoho, they help a lot. They are very much scalable and very much understandable. You can calculate the pricing. You can clearly get an idea of what's going on, how much you want to pay, you need to pay. But for Microsoft, it's little bit tricky, calculating the price is very much tough. And in this Azure platform, everything has been really chaos for non-technical users, for even technical IT managers or some kind of these CFOs. These people, they are not getting the actual picture because they have a lot of new technology terms they have engaged. They have been so many new things in Azure. Newbies or even technology geeks, they can't understand what is the terminology, how much I need to pay. I cannot say upfront that this much amount I need to pay for these services, and very often it happens. If you want to take the service, you need to sign up using your credit card, and one fine morning you will see that a huge charge has been given on the credit card.
Yeah.
So this is the bad thing of Azure. The same thing has been happened with us. We were trying to use two virtual machines and some applications in Azure for our development team. They were using my credit card to take the services, and initially Microsoft has offered $200 for this sign up subscription. It was kind of voucher that was offered to us, but after 2 months I was charged 14,000 INR without giving any kind of pre-notification.
Dollars.
So that is the 14,000 INR.
INR, okay, because of $200. Okay.
So that was not actually not done, for what if they are paying, and they have a lot of terminologies. They have a lot of clause, but Zoho is simple, neat, and clean, and you can see what for you are paying.
Super, super. So the next question is more from the brands which have a tiered program of engagement with the channel itself. So I know after having spoken to a few Microsoft partners that they have something called a gold, silver, and a bronze partner tiered program. So which of these two has a better tiered engagement? Would it be Microsoft or would it be Zoho? Mr. Chandan, I think I lost you there for a little while. For about 10 seconds, I lost you. So which brand, which vendor do you think has a better tiered partner engagement?
It's Microsoft.
Currently, Zoho doesn't offer any of these, tiered engagements, right?
Right.
Now, there are different referral or remuneration programs that we have, right, for the channel. And I have 5 of them listed here. I'd like you to rate them in terms of your preference, which is the highest, which comes, subsequent. So you have your referral payment where you get referred by the vendor and then there is a commission on that. There is a vendor bill commission. There is also a monthly recurring revenue, which means there is a certain amount of money coming in every month. An annual recurring revenue where you sign off a contract and there is annual money coming in. And there is also a total contract value where you offer certain, vendor solutions on top of which you have your professional services that you add to give your customers a comprehensive package. So as a business, which do you think is preferred by you?
See, I will prefer for this annual recurring value. It's the most, this is the highest thing, and obviously the commission, vendor bills, and referral payments as well. But highest will be annual recurring values.
Okay. And then in the order of next order, can I say commission vendor bills will be second, referral payment third,
Third.
monthly recurring revenue fourth, and total contract value fifth?
Yep.
Okay, cool, lovely. Yeah, we're getting towards the fag end of the questionnaire itself, and I'm going to take probably the next 7-8 minutes to finish, less than that to finish this, because we have only 2 vendors for you to rate. And I'm going to list certain amount of competencies or product capabilities of 2 brands, which is Microsoft and Zoho. And I'd like you to tell me what is your rating for these aspects only. So let's go with Microsoft first. When I say telephone, I mean telephony, right? What is your rating for telephony of Microsoft?
Telephony is good.
What about conferencing?
It's very good.
Messaging?
Again, very good.
Instant messaging and presence?
It's excellent.
What about interoperability and integration?
Good.
Overall administration?
Good.
Hybrid and on-premise?
It's good, but Link does not have, as of now, they're not offering on-prem solution. It's on cloud.
Correct. So for hybrid and premise, it is going to be good. What about your cloud, overall cloud offerings of Microsoft?
Cloud is very good.
And mobility support? When I say mobility support, your ability to use mobile devices and all the platforms on this?
It's very good.
So allow me a minute when I actually strike off Salesforce because we don't deal with them.
Right.
And let me go to Zoho directly and similar aspects of Zoho. How much would you rate telephony of Zoho?
Telephony is, I'll say, it's within Zoho, it's good. Means within organization, you can call using Zoho Click, it's good. But with outside the organization, it's not as good as Click. So in that case, I'll say it's poor.
So if I have to, look at both the ratings and give them a single rating, would that be good or poor?
Right.
Okay. What about conferencing on Zoho?
Good.
Messaging?
It's very good.
Instant messaging and presence?
Very good.
Interoperability, integration?
Integration is really good, it can be said very good.
What about the overall administration of Zoho as different products?
Administration is excellent.
Do they offer hybrid and on-premise?
No.
What about cloud solutions?
Good.
Good. Okay.
Very good.
Very good. And what about mobility support on Zoho?
Very good.
Very great. Let me then go to the customer preference itself, and I want to get a general overview of yours of the market itself. What do you think are the main reasons customers are investing in unified communication or collaborative tools today?
See, there are no single reason, but I'll say there are three big reasons. In particular, they are modernizing the employee experience, managing the skill crunch, and keeping cost in check. So until recently, the bulk of employees' communication was done over phone or by email, but this has changed drastically. In companies big or small, workers prefer to communicate as they do in their personal lives using instant messaging platform and SMS, and on top of additional method. So UCAS, Unified Communication as a Service, is ideally suited to support in collaboration across all the platforms, making people happier at work, more efficient, and better equipped to serve. So there is this certain aspect of modernizing the employee works experience, and managing the skill crunch is again a big reason, and keeping cost in check another is a big reason, because earlier the communicating over telephone was much costlier, but using these UCAs, the cost has drastically been down.
Right, right. Now, after you've told me all this and keeping the employee experience and managing the skill crunch part, what are the top three features that your customers look for in UC?
My customers as well as me. So top features I'll say is that integrated audio and video conferencing solution is the number one. Number two, I'll say as a soft phone, because maintaining physical handset behind the desktop is a kind of old fashioned. So soft phone is a kind of very much attracting feature. And according to clients and other market evaluators, screen sharing and drawing on the screen at the time of presentation is very much required.
Super. And do you think these have got accelerated over the past 1 year?
Yeah, obviously for the post-COVID session.
Right, right. Now, in your experience of Microsoft and Zoho, which of them offer the best on-site support to ensure if your customers want implementation and integration with the existing systems, which of them offer the best on-site support?
Support is outstanding for Zoho.
Okay. So I'm coming to the last section, which is more to do with your experience as a partner. And again, I will need your rating for only two brands, which is Microsoft and Zoho. How would you rate pricing flexibility of Microsoft?
Good.
Good.
But in some cases, they are very much sticky. They don't want to come down to their listed price, and this makes really a big problem for small companies, startups like us. So it's good, but in some cases, they are really sticky.
What about ease of deployment?
Ease of deployment is good, but in some cases, there are and old operating systems, outdated hardware. So interoperability is, there is a lack of compatibility issues there. So ease of deployment is in some cases poor.
Okay, I will make a note of that. So since you spoke about interoperability, what is your rating for integration also?
Integration with third party, it gives pain in some cases, but with Microsoft, it's easy.
So should I say very good?
Yeah, very good.
What about services revenue through Microsoft?
It's not good. It's poor.
Okay. And what about the quality of tech support for Microsoft?
Quality of tech support is very good.
Okay. Same questions and similar rating scale for Zoho, please. What would be your pricing flexibility rating?
It's good.
What about ease of deployment?
Good.
Integration through third party?
Very good.
Very good. What about services revenue from Zoho?
Good.
Good. And what about quality of tech support?
Good.
Good. Lovely. The last question, Mr. Chandan, is if there were three standout things, that you could expect from CPaaS vendors, so that you're able to generate better success and more business under them, what would they be if you could give them that feedback?
I'll say, according to me, the main three reasons or three aspects of CPaaS should be, first one is API integration. Integration should be, very much easier, and it should be distinct, clear. And choosing my own carrier, that is BYOC, the new term has been incorporated, bring your own carrier. And so that should be there, because, I should have that kind of flexibility to use my own carrier. And third one is the data center and NOC presence across the globe. If my CPaaS service provider has kind of, data center NOC in my own country, obviously I'll prefer it. So API integration, choosing my own carrier, and data center and NOC presence. These are three parameters.
Splendid, splendid. Thank you so very much for making my job simple by being so elusive with your, responses. I've got all the information that I wanted to capture on this questionnaire. There are some very critical inputs that you've given me, which I will, go back, listen to a recording, and then map them back to the questionnaire itself, Mr. Chandan. Thank you very much. I have one last thing to ask of you. Let me stop recording first. And, our endeavor is to